First up, we've got some type of lesion on the scalp that is very scaly, and they're separating out the hair, and then we're going to see what they're doing with it. They're just kind of picking it off here. The back of the scalp in this location would be a common spot for psoriasis to develop. You can get plaques of psoriasis. Other things that might look like this would be ringworm of the scalp. Tinea capitis is the technical name for that. That usually needs oral medication when it grows down the hair follicle, and seborrheic dermatitis is the last thing. Here we have a cyst in the ear, and it's growing under the skin on top of the cartilage, and simply by bending the ear and putting more pressure between the skin and the cartilage, I think we're going to get this thing to pop. Obviously, we're doing this at home. Steady camera with one hand and boom, that cyst contents, almost like a little abscess, shoots out onto the hands. Next up is a cyst behind the knee. And I don't know where we're at here, but definitely not in a clinic. No gloves, and we're mashing on it with the fingers. Do y'all have a friend that would do this for you? Let me know in the comments. Would you have let a friend do this to you? Would you be that friend to do it to somebody else? So, when it doesn't come out easy like that, usually you need to open them up a little bit more. You gotta make a bigger incision in the skin. And we do that with local anesthesia in the clinic so we don't hurt people when we cut them. But I feel like, yeah, they put enough force in there. Oh, it's all over their fingers. They're doing it in the bathroom. No, this is an oldie but a goodie. We've got a big old cyst pimple above the eye and the eyebrow. Kind of the danger zone of the face. So you gotta be careful popping things here. Here we have an ingrown hair. They've got a tool there trying to open it up. And there is a ton of stuff that comes out of here. You stick around and watch this, because it's surprising how much hair can just get trapped under the skin. Okay, we've got the first one out and now we start pulling. And I promise you that's not it. We're going back in for more. Okay, there we go. Now we're starting to see it. Tip of the iceberg right here. Boom. So much stuff. So much hair underneath the skin. This is a hair follicle that gets plugged up, and it just keeps producing hair. It winds up under the skin, but that is impressive, really. Now in the beard here, they're just going for it right at the beginning. Just mash it. I want to know how far that's shooting. That's at a barber shop. At least he's got a covering over him to not get that on his shirt. If you have a cyst on the lip, please don't poke it with the safety pin. That is not sterile. And they're huge. This is a mucocele. So, it's a salivary gland that's all plugged up, and it produces clear mucus like fluid that's supposed to be going in your mouth. Oh, that's just nasty without gloves especially. Don't poke yourself in the lip with a safety pin. For sure it's going to feel better, but bad idea. Quick pause here, because if you guys want some of the best-selling skincare that we distribute here in my dermatology practice, you have to know about Skin Better Science. They are an amazing company with my favorite retinol, the one that I use every night called Alpha-Ret. This is a retinoic acid, very similar to prescription tinanoin, but it's combined with lactic acid and even glycolic acid to give you a little extra exfoliation. Now that sounds like it could be drying, but it's so gentle. I use it most nights without even using a hair. Here in this area, you gotta be careful. If that infection spreads, you could get something called otitis externa. That's very painful and can be dangerous. Cystic type lesion on the cheek. It's starting to come out. And yeah, this is more of an abscess almost. I mean, it looks infected based on that fluid. There's a little blood in there. Just if it's coming out easy, just keep with that. Don't go mashing on it hard. They're just working it out. When they get big like this, obviously it's going to be painful. This is going to feel better. But again, you gotta be so careful. If this ruptures under the skin, an infection could spread to other tissues of the face. Another oldie but a goodie. This cyst on the inside of the lip just pushing from behind, and it gets in the beard. It gets in his mouth and in the beard. Ladies, make sure that your fellas are washing their face if they have a beard, because if they're doing something like this, you don't want to be getting anywhere near it. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sticking around for this video. Like I said, there was some crazy stuff in here, but fun to watch and hopefully little sprinkles of education in there. Send this video to a friend who loves this kind of stuff, or who you would let pop a pimple on you. If you guys want to check out my latest video in the mobile clinic, I'll have that down in the video description as well, where I go out and provide free dermatology care. But otherwise, I'll see you next time.